What's up everybody, and today's topic is about everything you wanted to know about development of vaccines. The internet and the social medias are flooded with all kinds of allegations of people who claim that the vaccines are dangerous. So let's order our heads and figure out how the process of producing vaccines works. There are several ways for producing vaccines, which the most famous among them is the mRNA due to the usage of Pfizer and Moderna. The technology of AstraZeneca is different, but they are both based on the virus's genetics. The stage of producing the vaccine itself is called the Preclinical Stage, and after the Ministry of Health in the state where the vaccine is manufactured confirms that the vaccine is indeed safe to use and efficient, it allows the company to advance to the next level, the middle level. In the middle level, 15 people are given the vaccine for trying, and if everything is okay, the company can move on to the next level, the clinical level. The clinical level is divided into 3 phases that each one of them is conducted as the following. The first thing that we do is sampling, and we use a formula which by its help we can calculate the exact amount of people that we need in order that our sample will become representative, and then we divide it into 2 subgroups. One of them receives the real vaccine while the another, which is the control group, receives the dummy vaccine, that is the placebo. In this kind of researches, and those are studies in every sense of the word, a double-blind research methodology is used, and its definition is that neither the experimenters nor the participants know who gets what. And sometimes it's contrasted to a single-blind research methodology, which means that only the participants don't know what they get. This research methodology is used due to the existence of the placebo effect, which means that a person who receives a dummy vaccine believes that he actually receives the real one, and his health condition improves consequently. By creating the 2 subgroups, we actually isolate the placebo effect from the influence of the vaccine, because if they are mixed together, we can't know whether the vaccine has any influence, and if yes, in which extent. The next thing that we do is going to the subgroup of the people who received the real vaccine and calculate the vaccine's efficiency, or in other words, we estimate the likelihood that the vaccine will indeed protect us against the disease. We do so by using a formula which, according to statistical rules, we know that it's capable to estimate this likelihood in the best way, and then we contrast the score that we get to the control group. We know that the placebo effect has 30% of efficiency, which means that 1 in 3 people experience the placebo effect. This is all good and beautiful, but it's not enough. And the reason is that maybe our sample result, our estimation, the number that we have gotten, is not the real likelihood of the population. And if we had another sample, we would probably get a different sample outcome. Hence, we need a tool which will help us determine whether we can project our sample outcome on all of the population, i.e. making a statistical conclusion, or that our sample outcome is correct only to our sample itself. For solving this problem, statistical tests have been developed. If our sample outcome, our estimation, the number that we have gotten, is significant, so we know that we can project it on all of the population, or in other words, making a statistical conclusion. And if it's not significant, so we know that our sample result is correct only to our particular sample. The Ministry of Health in the state where the vaccine is developed verifies after every single level that the vaccine is indeed safe to use and effective, and then in the end of the process it gives the company its cachet to market its vaccine. and if the company wants to sell its vaccine in additional states, it must pass through the ministries of health of those particular countries. Now I'm going to touch the subject that people are afraid of it the most, the side effects. The most common epiphenomena are usually mild and they pass quickly on their own. They actually indicate that your body starts to build an immunity against the disease. The severe side effects are extremely rare and they are caused due to a high sensitivity to at least one component of the vaccine. Such high sensitivity causes a phenomenon which is called anaphylaxis. The definition of anaphylaxis is a severe allergic reaction that threatens your life as a result of exposing to the thing that you are allergic to. This phenomenon also exists in food, such as milk, nuts, peanuts, and so on. In case you experience anaphylaxis, you must use an EpiPen injector which contains epinephrine, or in its familiar name, adrenaline. After that, you must go to the hospital to see a doctor because the anaphylactic symptoms may reoccur. Last thing that I want to talk about is underlying conditions. Because of age, health conditions, or other factors, some people should not get certain vaccines or should wait before getting them. This is because different vaccines contain different components and each vaccine can affect you differently. Nevertheless, some health conditions can make it harder for you to fight off the vaccine-preventable diseases like pneumococcal disease or flu. They can also make it more likely that you will have serious complications from those diseases. For summing this up, we discussed on the preclinical stage, the middle stage, the clinical level, the confirmation that the vaccine is indeed safe to use and efficient by the Ministry of Health, and mainly by the Ministry of Health of the state where the vaccine is manufactured, was mentioned shortly. We also talked about the side effects. The allergic to vaccines was included in this, and the underlying condition issues emerged too. I hope that now you realize how the process of developing vaccines works, which is a statistical process in its essence, and it's taken from a subject in statistics that is called statistical hypothesis testing. This scientific method is used for conducting researches in every field that such studies are conducted. And this is the reason why people who haven't learned medicine, like me, I've actually learned economics and management, are able to explain you this whole process. Because each of us studies statistics, but the differences among the fields are expressed by the research methodologies like the double-blind and the single-blind research methodologies that are mentioned in this video. Every field uses different study methodologies depending on the challenges that it faces. And the purpose of the research methodologies is preventing research biases because we want to be as close as we can to the truth. If you like this video, don't forget to put your thumbs up and share it among your family and friends. The information sources that were used for making this video are down below in the description. Thank you for watching.